No one's saying anything about same piece sets, so I'm going to assume that we don't want same piece sets, and we'll just get the countdown going. So let's do that. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Ooh, a bit of a early misflip there from Doodle with that S piece. Gonna have to burn a few lines right off the bat, which is, you know, probably not how you want to kick off immediately, but no big deal. We're still pretty early on. It shouldn't make much of a difference. Nice little roof burn there. Oh, and a perfect square piece as well. So yeah, Doodle's certainly going to be out of this burn pretty quick. Looks like he's perhaps still kind of calibrating that roll. So I see a few over taps here and there. You know, maybe the kind of competition nerves getting to him. Nice double burn there to unveil that hole. And there we go. There's the Tetris, finally. Meanwhile, WhiteMonster also looking good. Nice clean stream as well. I think that's probably an emulator there. Nothing wrong with that, of course. I'm just pointing it out. Get that pristine image. Ooh, bit of a kind of last second indecision there from Doodle, but not gonna suffer for it. Just has a perfect L-shaped hole for an L, and there's the L to burn off the line, and there's the line to get the Tetris. So there you go, 91,000 points for Doodle, but WhiteMonster is ahead and quite behind in lines as well, actually, with 125,000, and is about kind of 7 lines behind. So I would say, what is that, like a Tetris and a half ahead, assuming that his pace doesn't suffer. Interesting stacking decisions there, kind of playing pretty flat from that's WhiteMonster. Excuse my slurping sounds drinking tea here. You know, I am British, so par for the course. Okay, sorry for radio silence, but you know, both players just playing good, clean Tetris. I think Doodle has kind of warmed up a little bit, recovered from that slightly shaky start, although now having to... Oh, has a nice left well setup, actually. Needs... kind of would want a line pretty soon. Of course, it comes just as he blocks the well, as is often the case. But there we go, the well is open again, the Tetris well, and there's a line coming at the right time, so there's a Tetris. And looks like Doodle's going to carry on with this row 4 left well, but yeah, no, it's not happening. The pieces come to burn it out, and he makes the right decision. Now back with the traditional right side well and a nice sloping stack. Takes a safety double, just, you know, you don't want to go out early. Quite often, you know, I would say at like Hopeful's level maybe, and at least Hopeful's early stages, and certainly in the community tiers, it's much more about survival at least you know, until you transition, than it is about how efficiently you're going to play on 18. You see a lot of games thrown away by people being overly aggressive on 18. I think in the non-master tiers. So worthwhile being just a little bit conservative, I would say, as you start off. Like, both players are pretty neck and neck in terms of score. WhiteMonster with the slight lead, but actually ahead in lines at this point, so not really a pace lead. 401,000 points for WhiteMonster, 393,000 points for Doodle at basically the same line count. So, you know, WhiteMonster barely even a Tetris ahead. Okay, WhiteMonster's transition has 451, so a bit of a low transition, but it looks like that's going to be mirrored by Doodle's transition as well. Both players playing cautious, kind of good competition Tetris, don't want to, you know, top out early. Doodle finally fills that J hole, and then creates another hard J dependency. Yeah, looks like they're choosing to roof burn. But getting just the worst pieces. RNG not being kind to him. But there you go, burns it out. For the most part, almost there. Just a couple more burns. There you go, gets the 2 right pieces for it. Unfortunately, only has a triple well open there, but the line comes again shortly afterwards, and they get the Tetris. 504,000 points on the nose for Doodle versus 544,000 points from WhiteMonster, who is a few lines ahead. So both players, again, still pretty even, evenly matched. Doodle being the, as you can see, the 5th seed versus WhiteMonster, the 12th seed. So, and it's also a rolling versus tapping, but perhaps rolling at this level not the biggest of advantages over tapping. It really comes down to whether Doodle's rolling enables them to get any significant amount of points post kill screen if it gets that far. And I don't know, it's looking pretty good, so it could well get that far. And then we'll be wondering, well, how good a roller is WhiteMonster? Because you see players like, you know, Tetris Alex T, who can hyper tap well into kill screen and get a significant number of points, you know, tapping at level 29 speeds. So it's not necessarily a disadvantage until you get to a certain skill level of rolling. WhiteMonster's board starting to look a little bit sort of unaffordant. Oh, and then misflips that L. That is going to be, oh, tough, and then hangs the line, and yeah, that is going to be it for WhiteMonster, and Doodle is ahead, so Doodle is going to take game number 1. GG's to both players. But it turns out that the higher seed had what it takes. Had what it took what it had? I don't know, whatever. So let's give him the hearts. There it is. Doodle gets his heart just as his board kind of... And it's not falling apart. Could burn this out. See, this is where the power of rolling really comes in, though. This is kind of a dig that would be extremely difficult, even with tapping. Though it's still going to be difficult with rolling. Yeah, GG's. Doodle takes the first game. So both players are ready. Let's get on to game number 2. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I just noticed the KK slider plush behind Doodle, amongst other cool looking plushes. That's nice. That's cool. Do like me a bit of Animal Crossing. Though as much as I like the Switch one, I do think, the OG kind of, I say OG GameCube, of course we know it was Animal Forest on the N64, I just want to make sure that, you know that I know that, but the OG GameCube version is probably one of my favorites, and then maybe the DS one as well, and the 3DS one actually, pretty good. Kind of miss the you know, the fun and games and stuff that you had in them in the multiplayer that aren't in the Switch version in New Horizons. But anyway, this stream is not about Animal Crossing, it's about Tetris. There you go, WhiteMonster gets another Tetris. Very strong start actually from WhiteMonster, 114,000 points through 20 lines. I think that is perfect pace. Oh, misses the, what was that, the Z flip there though. Now getting slightly trolled by RNG. Hello to NotZenPro and Tourist in chat. Are you guys having a good evening? Okay, Doodle very high up on the board. Takes a safety triple. And a safety double. Sensible moves from Doodle. Probably knows that they're not going to have to push super hard. And survival will be definitely the tactic to go with. Especially now that they have the one game advantage. You know, the pressure is on WhiteMonster to catch up. Ooh, WhiteMonster hanging a line there. Missing the Tetris, but there's another line, and looks like they're getting the pieces to kind of flatten the board out again. Oh, what game was that, Tourist? For YouTube, Tourist106 in chat saying that they got one of their childhood PS2 games back today. I expect there's quite a lot of crossover between classic Tetris lovers and retro games lovers. Certainly I put myself in both of those camps. Ooh, Doodle in a little bit of trouble, but manages to roll themselves out of it very adeptly, I will say. Just tickling away at that pad. Do with a line, building a Tetris well, super high up, and the line comes at the perfect time. Look at that absolutely filthy Tetris from Doodle. Managing to get themselves mostly out of trouble. Oh, and an interesting kind of shift there, but didn't really get the pieces afterwards to kind of capitalize on it. So going to be burning away a little bit, but did make a valiant attempt at maintaining efficiency there. And for those keeping track, Taurus' childhood PS2 game was F1 Korea Challenge. Recommends it to all you people in the future watching on YouTube, so there you go. And I've not played, I don't think I've played an F1 game since like early 90s PC games, and I really mean like early 90s, maybe even late 80s PC games. I used to have this one on my old Amstrad 8086 machine. Can't remember, it's like F1 Grand Prix I think it was called. I'm not sure if it had any kind of endorsement. I used to love that as a kid, thought it was a lot of fun. No idea if it's actually any good. I'm not recommending that, but Tourist is recommending F1 Korea Challenge. Anyway, WhiteMonster is in trouble. Needs a J, the line will do. Oh, interesting decision there to get that L all the way over to the right, and it might actually have completely saved them, seeing what pieces came afterwards. And WhiteMonster with the very impressive dig there, getting themselves out of trouble, and in the nick of time with 114 lines, only 16 lines, 15 now to go till transition, gets a Tetris. Oh, and has a nice kind of, just off of row 2, well, kind of preparing to burn it away, although, oh, I take it back, it kind of looks like, yeah, they're going to build for that Tetris instead. Fortunately, the line not coming at the perfect time, so I think, yeah, with one line away from transition, choosing the smarter option of burning it down a bit, get to a safer position once the speed increase happens, where the speed goes up by 50%. And, Doodle's board also in not a state, but like maybe higher up than you might want, with more holes than you might want, of course, because you want 0 holes going into level 19. But makes a good transition. Quite a low transition though, score-wise. 385,000 for Doodle. WhiteMonster is ahead by about 14 lines. Oh, made up. What was that? 15 lines. With 450,000 points. So not hugely ahead in pace. A bit ahead in pace. Both players with not the highest of pre-19 paces, but sometimes that's just what the pieces let you do. Like you can't always be getting the 500, 600k transitions. Oh, that's true. The saying B-Kid saying it, the announcement said it's on the wrong channel. It does say that. But well, I can edit it. There we go. Boop. Like it never happened. Okay, so Doodle, not with the best looking board, but not the worst either. It's very a feasible burnout for sure. Yepa Tetris making a comment on Doodle's rolling style, noticing how quite should we say kind of flamboyant movements? I think that's a reasonable word to use, kind of thing. Like there's a lot of follow through on Doodle's rolling. You see their hand kind of get raised pretty high, and yeah, that is interesting. But that's just how he rolls. Oh, nice flat line burn from Doodle into the Tetris. 640,000 for Doodle, 712,000 for WhiteMonster, who is still 12 lines ahead. So we are still pretty neck and neck. Ooh, and WhiteMonster hangs a line on the left, but a line comes in time. Another one would be ideal, and there it is. So WhiteMonster now, taking, interestingly, a safety double now. Unnecessarily. At level 28, you think they might kind of rev up to, and there we go. We've got 825k transition, and WhiteMonster is, yeah, now that's going to be did get a few post 29 lines, but, does have the lead going into transition. And, Doodle's board is falling apart pre-transition. That rolling is probably not going to be enough to recover from this in time, although they're so close. Just needs another 11,000 points, but that is gonna be it. And WhiteMonster takes game number 2. It's an extremely close game. GG's to both players, but it was WhiteMonster that persevered in the end. So definitely a very close matchup here. And you love to see it. Also like, no 18 top outs so far. Like the nerves may be still getting to players, but not so much that they're not putting in great games. Like I'd be pretty happy with any of these. So Doodle is ready. And WhiteMonster is ready. So I guess we're going to count it down again. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, a bit of an unfortunate kind of sequence of pieces there for WhiteMonster at the start. Didn't have anywhere to put those S's, and now has kind of a hole on their second row. At least they get the line to burn it away, and looks like they're gonna choose to build a well up onto row 2. Probably the smart choice. And if a line comes now, they can burn it away perfectly, but oh no, not with that J placement. Choosing the safe option, burning it down to the ground, but then nowhere for that square. We've got people in chat imploring Doodle to not ruin his stack for the dirty Tetris. Hey, he can do what he wants. Okay, interesting decision to burn out like that for Doodle. Ends up causing like about 3 lines of burning. But there's a Tetris. 128,000 points for Doodle. WhiteMonster with the slow start, perhaps 75,000 points for him. Yeah. So Doodle now building out his stack again. WhiteMonster looking to clean up his a little bit. Does, but then of course then comes the square that he has no room for. Manages to burn it away okay. Both players, especially WhiteMonster's side, with slightly slow paces at this point in the game. You kind of want to, if you can hit 200,000 points at 50 lines, that's a reasonable kind of 500k, 600k pace. But both players, well, Doodle especially is board kind of breaking apart a bit. Could really do with a J. There's that J, but then not before having to use the square to block over the well. That extremely split double well. Okay, Doodle resisting the urge, I think, to build... Oh no, not resisting the urge. To build a dirty row 4 well. Row 4, column 4. Interesting. Kind of uses that L in a way that relied on another piece to kind of stay Tetris ready, but now is in trouble. And it's going to need that rolling. Gets that line all the way over to the left. And 3 lines in a row just when you least want them. And yeah, Doodle kind of not out of trouble yet. Manages to uncover their well. Could do with one of those lines now. And there's another one. Manages to get that dirty Tetris, but really, was it worth it? Oh, and then kind of misplaces that T. A kind of misflip of the T by the looks of it. Burns it away perfectly, though. Now looking for a line or a J. The line comes. Burns... Oh, going aggro with that J again. And is immediately rewarded with the Tetris. Yeah, Doodle playing with fire, but at least it let him kind of keep pace with WhiteMonster. Now at 100 lines, WhiteMonster at 310k, Doodle at 283k, so within a Tetris of each other. Yeah, the Dengler in chat asking what round it is. Indeed, it is round 1, as it says at the bottom right. But it's a fair question, you know. Sometimes, well, sometimes I forget to change it. I expect other streamers might be guilty of it, but I don't want to throw around accusations. And the thing that I most often forget to change actually is the commentator name, but I did remember today, so there you go. I am not vandweller. Okay, Doodle high up and getting that Tetris. Now building out their left a little bit, taking a safety double, 6 lines away from transition. Now has an LJ dependency, fills it with the J. Looking to hit that 400,000 mark before transition. Does get it, 1 line away, and transitions at 405. WhiteMonster already there at 423. So yeah, both players very even now. Old Doodle has a kind of T-spin embedded there, but unfortunately the T does not come in time. And it's a good thing that he didn't wait, because we've still not seen it. Oh, that's a little bit unfortunate, that sequence of pieces, but there you go. Burns a good amount of it out. And then, yeah, there we go. So, Doodle, not clean yet, but pretty safe. Oh, interesting decision to burn like that. And, yeah, really smart, actually. I like that. Oh, WhiteMonster has topped out at 482. I kind of missed that. That was unfortunate. Doodle still needs to get 482 though. It's not a given, but there's the Tetris. That's 481. There's the line clear, and there's another, and there we go. Doodle takes game number 3, and yeah, is 1 step closer to progressing through the bracket to the next game. So GG's. Bit unfortunate there for WhiteMonster. Doodle managing to play through the nerves and accomplish the chase down without issue. So now WhiteMonster will need to take the next game if he's going to stay in, if he's going to keep Poland within the hopeful circuit. And Doodle only needs 1 more. But I dare say that the US is probably going to be well represented when it comes to the finals. Well, I say the finals, when it comes to the semi-finals, let's say at least. Okay, both players are ready. Let's go. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay, slightly sketchy start there from WhiteMonster. Now having to burn off the top. Hard J dependency. And gonna have to burn off from the right afterwards to clear that hole. Gets the line that they need though. That'll do. Choosing now to build on top of row 2, and smart. Has a Tetris well now waiting. Just needs that line to come to cash it in. Oh, introduces a line dependency on the left, but there you go, there's a line to fill it in, so no big deal. Oh, and kind of a similar situation on Doodle's board there. Okay, kind of, I'd say shaky starts a lot from both players and quite low transitions, although good to see consistent transitioning. But, gotta wonder if that's the competition nerves at play. You know, while we're in these early stages, Tourist, you got any more PS2 recommendations? Can help YouTube land out. Yeah, I've probably got some PS2 recommendations. I'll tell you what, I think an underrated game. Like a lot of people played Baldur's Gate Dark Alliance, and it got that remake and everything. But Champions of Norath, I think that's kind of underrated. Bit of a spiritual kind of sequel to that Dark Alliance series, but yeah, really great series, really great game. Okay, Doodle high up. WhiteMonster clearing the stack, getting it nice and clean again. So Yepper saying, shaking their head. I only have Nintendo consoles. What? How about some Nintendo GameCube recommendations? Kind of, keep it to that PS2 kind of era. Although, I think everyone knows what was good on the GameCube, right? Like, that's a lot of great GameCube games. Ooh, WhiteMonster putting that line all the way left and introducing a line dependency on the left with that. Fills it in with a J. So it does have holes now on rows number 3. And a whole bunch of weight on those holes. Looks like he's trying to burn it out. But then, that Z piece, kind of not the best of timing for it. B-Kid agreeing with me that Champions of Norath is a classic. Nice one, B-Kid. I knew you were someone of taste. Okay, WhiteMonster kind of high up. Not in too much trouble yet, but, and yeah, not going for the aggressive Tetris setup, but not getting great pieces to burn out of it either. Oh, it is now, though. There we go. Reverse commentator's curse. Commentator's blessing. Okay, interesting kind of maybe hidden gem recommendation from Taurus there. Apparently there's a Despicable Me Minions game on the PS2, one of the last to be released that's a surprisingly cutesy platformer. So, there you go. There's a bit of a left field recommendation for you on the PS2. I might give that one a miss, to be honest, but if you got some time, why not check it out? Ooh, Doodle's board. Kind of, oh no, looking fine, and there's that dirty Tetris on row 2. And their board now looking perfect again, so I need to shut my mouth. Okay, WhiteMonster transitions, but only at 300,000 points. Doodle already at 400 and still 8 lines away from transitioning. So definitely a suffer game for WhiteMonster, but maybe that will change now that we've hit that 19 transition. Oh, B-Kid recommending Frequency and Amplitude, and I can also heartily recommend both games. Great games. From, from Harmonix, I think? Yeah, really good rhythm games if you like that kind of thing. If you're into like Beatmania or DJ Hero, that kind of thing. Sure to like those games. Okay, WhiteMonster's stack. Looking a little bit sketchy. Oh, gets the pieces just at the right time. Definitely saved there by RNG. Look at that. That could have been fatal, but it turns out it wasn't. But yeah, definitely the odds are stacked against WhiteMonster, but he battles on valiantly. 379,000 points for WhiteMonster. Doodle well ahead with 525,000 points, so well over 100,000 points ahead, and probably about sort of 200 or so-ish thousand points ahead in pace. Can probably afford to take the foot off the gas just a little bit to make sure he survives. especially having the advantage. Although, you know, with rolling, maybe you just don't need to do that. Well, does build a hole into the stack. Makes some interesting burning decisions. Could do with a J. Oh, that'll do though. That S will do. Okay, now has that hard J dependency, gets the J, and the other line to burn it away. It fills the LJ dependency with another J, and is now down to the ground again. 583,000 points for Doodle. WhiteMonster has caught up a bit actually, 511,000 points, and only 5 lines ahead, so it's now certainly feasible that WhiteMonster could take this if they get good pace for the rest of the game, or if Doodle tops out. Like, it could go either way. WhiteMonster definitely still back in the game now. Another Tetris as well. Playing nice and efficient. Okay, not the best pieces there. But takes the risk and is somewhat rewarded. And there's a line finally for WhiteMonster. Bit of a sketchy stat, but there's another one. Another Tetris. 651,000 points for WhiteMonster. 8 lines ahead. And about 17,000 points back, so kind of depending on how efficient Doodle is, not quite neck and neck, but not far off. WhiteMonster needs some efficiency, needs a little bit of luck with these pieces. We're not playing same piece sets, so WhiteMonster could get lucky. Is not getting lucky though, and there's quite the drought there for WhiteMonster. That is unfortunate, and yeah, that is gonna be it. Oh no, but unfortunate, but GG's, and WhiteMonster almost making that back. Definitely an excellent attempt and a great game, but just the luck was not with him in the end, and Doodle is gonna take it. And there's Doodle getting a few post-kill screen lines, look at that. So yeah, Doodle takes game number 4 and takes the set. So Doodle is going to progress onto round 2. And up next we're going to have Hana versus PoopyOldHag. So I will report this game and set that up, and we will be back shortly. So we're going to count it down. Both players are ready. 3, 2... I say both players are ready. Kind of looks like PoopyOldHag is in B-type, but there we go. She's ready. 1 Tetris, you know. I'll finish that countdown. Ooh, nice little adjustment there from PoopyOldHag, setting up the T-tuck, or what I guess would have been a Z-spin, but ends up going with that though, interestingly. Now kind of waiting for some good pieces to burn it away. There we go, there's one of those good pieces, and there's another one. Going for the flip, hits the flip. Nice adjustment to tuck that J and gets a Tetris. So nice starts from both players, good clean starts. Ooh, nowhere to put that S for Hana, so now has, building off of row number 4, got some holes to burn away. Get some nice pieces to do it though. Can now probably waiting for, yeah, doesn't decide to stop waiting, was probably waiting for either the S or the Z, and I was trying to work it out. I think it was the Z actually. Takes a single line burn and the Tetris, and restores the well over to the right side, which is exactly where you want it. Another Tetris for Poopy. So Poopy with good pace. This is the kind of pace that you wanted to see, that we didn't really get to see in the first set of games. Both players looking to get around that 200,000 mark by 50 lines. Well, it's certainly Poopy is. We'll have to see if Hana does as well, but yeah, it's on track for it. And you'll probably see kind of DAS players try to maximize their potential on level 18 a bit more than you will for rollers and tappers, because they know that the efficiency is going to suffer come level 19, where, you know, the height restrictions are a lot more restrictive than they are with other playing styles. Guess I can go and edit that event and put it back to what it was. Let's do that. Oh, no I can't. It's disappeared. Apparently it's over. I wonder if I also only made it an hour long. Well done me, really nailing the admin for this particular circuit. Okay, Poopy's stack kind of looking a little worse for wear, but get some nice pieces to burn it down. But yeah, could go for a T, and there's that T. Often find when you want a T, it's the last piece to come, but Poopy is in luck. Oh, and gets the perfect pieces to burn that stack away. Unfortunately, has to put a little bit more weight above the holes, but probably going to get another Tetris out of it. And yeah, there it is. Oh, and a nice adjustment from Poopy again. Kind of staying very efficient despite some pieces that, well, perhaps not the most affordant pieces, shall we say. I've definitely seen kinder seeds. But yeah, another Tetris for Poopy, keeping pace with Lil Cutie Hana. Hana now at 383,000, Poopy at 409,000, and a little bit ahead on lines. Hana taking a split triple to restore that Tetris well. Taking a safety triple now. We are getting close enough, you know, we're within a stone's throw of that transition, and you do want to make sure your stack is looking nice, especially with DAS. Don't want to end up, you know, in a dig just before you transition and, you know, throw the whole game just for a few extra points. Okay, 420 for Hana at 120 lines, 478 for PoopyOldHag at 126 lines. And Poopy's going to get that Tetris and transition at 502,000 points. Okay, Hana gets one of those Tetrises. It's going to be a little bit behind Poopy on this transition, but we'll see how that goes. Has one more that they could get, and gets it. Transitions at 471, so kind of a Tetris and a half behind Poopy. Well, Poopy gets the L just in time there, but has a very flat stack now. Takes the safety double and triple, and then yeah, some more kind of safety burns absolutely necessary. Gets that kind of quick tap of the line all the way over to the left, and burns down very proficiently actually. Great game play there. Good burning, good safety. Gets the Tetris. 549 for Poopy, 524 for Hana. Nice single line safety burn there for Hana. And always nice when you can kind of put that line flat, I think. Something oddly satisfying about it. Okay, Hana takes the triple for safety. Doesn't want things to get out of control. Yeah, and once again, kind of the line not coming at the best time. And with DAS, you got to be careful, so playing it pretty safe. Okay, manages to get the line all the way left, so has a nice high left now, can maybe afford to start building out for that Tetris, and then kind of lays the line flat. Maybe not at the most opportune time, manages to get a T where it needed to go. Oh, but Poopy has topped out at 641, so it's a chase down But that chase down is very far from guaranteed at this point. LJ dependency for Hana, fills it with the line, but not before putting more weight on top of those holes. And chooses not to get down in that hole, maybe sort of slightly behind, not realizing how close they are to kind of taking the round and making it a lot harder. There we go. Finally kind of making some burns, making some headway back to a manageable stack. Needs to get 642 to take this game. Getting some nice pieces. Set up for that Tetris. And there's the line. 639. Just needs a few line clears at this point. 641, 642. And there we go. Little cutie Hana makes that chase down and takes game number 1. GG's. Yeah, really nice consistent play from both players up until the point where Poopy ended up topping out, but like especially from Hana, very sensible, kind of conservative but not too conservative, taking the Tetrises where they came. Both players are ready, so let's go for game number 2. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Nice OJ to open with from PoopyOldHag. Okay, line dependency on the left, but a line comes just in time, and there's the single line burn needed to open up that well. Unfortunately, kind of had a 50-50 chance of making either an L, making an L or a J dependency. Ended up choosing the J, and then the L came. So that's just going to be a triple until Poopy burns out. Meanwhile, Hana opens nice, takes their second Tetris. I like Hana's cam pick being the Sonic CD, like anti-piracy warning thing. Love to see it. Okay, PoopyOldHag kind of sacrificing some parity there to get that Tetris, and probably the right move, that low down on the stack. Okay, good clean Tetris for Hana there, just waiting for that J. Oh, interesting to make a second J dependency, waiting for the other one, but enough J's come that it doesn't matter. Right, that is probably my big weakness in my stacking, is making too many J dependencies. Maybe that's a very DAS player move. Something about that J piece, definitely my favourite piece. Oh, and little cutie Hana does the Corian adjustment. Sees the L in the next box when you get a J and sets up an L dependency and fills it immediately. And yeah, both players kind of neck and neck with pace at the moment, actually, and it's a good pace as well. 223,000 points through 58 lines for Hana, 209,000 points through 59 lines for Poopy. Kind of waiting for that line and a little bit of a drought, but there's the line just in time. Oh, and great setup there actually from Poopy, although it does end up with an L dependency, but the L dependency is quickly filled, and there's the Tetris. Oh, and a nice adjustment for that square. Does sort of leave an L line dependency on the left, but that is also filled, and it's looking good. And if that is the game of Tetris, just managing those risks. Being smart about when to take them, especially when it comes to Das. Oh, Hana kind of setting up what would have been, I guess, as a Z-tuck. Ends up, not a Z-tuck, a Z-flip. Flips the S in instead and sets up a bunch of burns. But it does have the pace lead, so isn't going to cause any problems, but does allow Poopy to close the gap just a little bit. Ah, TNI Saint with the lovely compliment in chat. That's very nice of them. Okay, Hana is Tetris ready. Poopy fills that J tuck with the J. Takes a couple of burns to get Tetris ready. Both players now. Oh, actually, no, Hana took their Tetris and is ready for another one. And I think I looked away and Poopy must have got theirs as well. And another Tetris for Poopy. Well, smart there with the line there from PoopyOldHag. Kind of making sure to build out the left in time. Ooh, now things getting a little dicey, but gets the right pieces and chooses to take the two safety burns. And yeah, smart play there from Poopy, avoiding what could have been a situation. But instead, no situation at all, just good clean Tetris. Oh, and the Vit set up as well. Definitely Poopy has some really great 18 play. And look at that pace as well, really reflected in the score. 515,000 points for 123 lines. There's another Tetris, 538,000 points, and there's another Tetris possible before that transition. Not going to be a 600k transition, but not far off. And there it is, gets Tetris, transitions at 562, extremely high 18 transition, especially for competition play and Das. But early transition, not looking the best. Got a few burns that need to be made. Ooh, smart play to kind of get the left to look like that. Oh no! Kind of makes an adjustment for thinking that the next piece was an L perhaps, but it was actually a J, and is going to just kind of guarantee more burning. And then doesn't get the square all the way left, and that is probably going to be it. Yeah, that's going to be it for PoopyOldHag, and Hana already has the game, so takes game number 2 at 613k. Unfortunate transition there for PoopyOldHag. That is what happens with Das. You make that one little slip. And, yeah, unfortunate. Such a shame as well, after really excellent 18 game. But, you know, what can you do? Sometimes it do be like that. So both players are ready. And Poopy's going to be looking to take this one to prevent the sweep. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. On a perfectly in sync start from PoopyOldHag. Love to see it. Okay, and shortly after there's little cutie Hana. Ooh, I think PoopyOldHag maybe was going for the J flip there and just missed it. Which is unfortunate. It's going to mean a bit of burning. But yeah, not too much burning. Now just needs a piece of 2 flat on the bottom, or that'll do, and gets a Tetris. So I have 8 lines burned there at the game opener for Poopy, but in the grand scheme of things, 8 lines, not too big a deal. Doodle asking Poopy to just do the reverse sweep so that they've got more time to eat. Oh, thank you, Javan T, or Java and T, or Yavan T, I don't know. But for the raid of the party of 4, it's definitely appreciated. Okay, Poopy's stack a bit more dependent than you would like, but make some smart burns, and unfortunately can't use that line to get the Tetris, but their board is now in a great state. And yeah, doing the Korean adjustment, it's not an LJ adjustment in this case, just a line J dependency, but basically, you know, the same principle. I think we can still call that the Korean adjustment, right? I'm sure Korean wouldn't mind. Seems to be a very, very nice man, that Korean. Okay. Poopy getting very high up, takes a safety triple. This is dangerous waters for Das, but Poopy manages it, keeping that pace, well, not as high as the previous games, but considering these pieces, not bad at all. And funny, despite us not actually playing same piece sets, QT Hana in a similar position. So both players around that 180,000 line, not line, point mark at the 50 line mark or so. You know, give or take. Yeah, both players just so Lil Cutie Hana has a kind of a line dependency on the left. Oh, it's unfortunate that's only going to be a triple. It was kind of well on the way to becoming a left well Tetris, but Hana choosing to burn it out rather than stake the game on it, despite having a 2-game lead, so... But best to not take these things for granted, for sure. And the pressure is all on Poopy, really, because Poopy needs to take this game, and it's still going to be a game down, even if she does. So, yeah, a lot of pressure right now on Poopy.
We have two pieces of observational evidence on the probability of life appearing. The first is that we have fossils about the 3.5 billion years.
I'm not into these flex style talking tracks. We might
4.6 billion years ago, but was probably too hot for
maybe we'll skip this one at the earliest opportunity. It sounds like from chat that I missed an impressive adjustment. Never mind. Okay, Hana now building for a left well. Unfortunately, the pieces doesn't let them capitalize on it, so just going to take that triple and move the well back over to the right. And Poopy has managed to get quite the lead. Lovely S-tuck there from Poopy. Poopy now at 404,000 points. Hana at 363,000 points. I say the lead, actually, with considering pace. Probably about neck and neck. Okay, Hana building a J dependency, fills it with the line. There we go, that square will let them pad out that left, and that is exactly what you want, especially getting quite close to transition. Oh, but then builds, a very high up Tetris well, suddenly turning quite aggressive is Hana. Yeah, making the smart choice to burn it away. Still has a Tetris well underneath, gets the line. Poopy has transitioned at sort of 506 at the moment. Maybe the transition might have been slightly lower. I might have missed the exact transition. Okay, Hana now one line away from transition. Has a Tetris. Possible, if the pieces allow it to happen. Oh, but instead choosing to take the burn. And probably smart. You don't kind of want to go in to that transition in Das with that kind of momentum that's making you build for Tetrises when, you know, too high kind of thing. Higher than you can at level 19. So nice kind of management there from Hana. Although now stacking slightly aggressively. LJ dependency. Oh, and a misshift of the Z is going to cause some burning. And that line is over a hole. So you've got kind of 3 Minos over a hole. Is going to mean at least 3 lines burned to get back to a good state again. We won't be building Tetrises on top at level 19 with Das. That is not really a feasible thing to do. There we go. Hana is clean again. PoopyOldHag at 580,000 points, although a good kind of 13 lines ahead. And Hana gets a Tetris 540,000 points and 10 lines behind. So kind of neck and neck pace-wise. And some really textbook Das stacking from both players here. And yeah, Hana taking the safe route there. Looking for that J. J taking a long time to come, and there it is finally, but Hana had to burn away the lines before it came. But there we go, there's another line, there's a Tetris. 602,000 points for Hana. But Poopy is ahead with 650,000 points, although is playing faster, 680,000 points. Had a slightly earlier start, might have been playing slightly higher up in general. Has managed to get a little bit ahead in terms of pieces. Yeah, as Pollo Salazar in chat has noticed, indeed we have a Das matchup. Oh, and Hana going for the aggressive Tetris setup and nails it. The line comes at the perfect time. But Poopy really establishing a great pace this game. After a couple of unfortunate, slightly earlier top-outs in the earlier games, really kind of bringing her A game now. Another Tetris, 814,000 points for Poopy, 679,000 points for Hana. Hana definitely playing more conservative at level 19, although Poopy's board now starting to fall apart. Needs a J. On that line is going to make it really difficult to get anything over. Poopy tops out at 816,700 points. Very, very respectable. Hana is going to need 817,000 points to take it. The Chasedown is very possible. There's a Tetris. Oh, interesting colours here. There's another Tetris. And yeah, Hana is just, what is that, like one Tetris away? Something like that. And really doesn't need to be pushing this hard. But I guess they want to do it in style, and why the heck not? Oh, well, maybe they do need to be pushing that hard actually. It's later in the game than I realised. Oh, lovely roof burn there to get back down. But only a few lines to go. And we're Das here, so probably going to want to set up a Tetris. Oh, but then kind of sets up... Yeah, no, it's got the Tetris set up. Just needs a line to come now. And is it going to come in time? Stack falling apart. Needs that line. There's the line, but it... Oh, no, they can't get it over. And Poopy is going to take game number 3 and prevent the sweep. GG's, and wow, what a heartbreaking last few pieces. Like, Hana was all set up for that sweep, and just a small drought came at the exact wrong time, or the exact right time to keep Poopy in the game. So there we go. Yeah, Hana apparently hung and lost Das at just the wrong time. But still a game ahead, so still has the advantage. But perhaps this is the start of Poopy's reverse sweep. Stay tuned to find out. Yeah, GG's both players. Hana is ready to get going again. So we're just waiting on Poopy's ready, and we'll get going on game number 4. I'm sure Poopy will be happy to not be swept. There we go, both players ready. We'll count it down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, some very unfortunate... Like, what is that sequence for Poopy? That is, I think, one of the worst opening sequences I've ever seen. And that is going to make for a difficult start. Almost as if, like, RNG saw that last game and thought, no. Hana deserved that one, so we're going to give Poopy the worst RNG to begin with. Honestly, like you're saying, people in chat saying that, you know, looked away and like and Poopy's stack was kind of all over the place. Nothing better she could have done, I don't think. That was a really, really mean opening sequence. Like, I mean, you know, that there are theoretical better ways of placing those pieces, but in the moment, I don't think she could have been expected to do anything more than that. Either way, not too much of a deficit has been established. It's not going to be a big deal, and now the stack is looking good once again. But yeah, it was kind of looking like Hatris for a while. Like, just the worst pieces. Okay, Hana making the smart moves with respect to those burns and reopening that well, building out that left. Just, yeah, absolute kind of world-class DAS play here. Definitely two great DAS players that we're watching. Okay, Hana's board looking good. Maybe a bit flat, but gets the Tetris, so it's no big deal. Using that square and those J's to pad out the left. Taking a safety single. And there's another Tetris. 207,000 points for Hana, 193,000 points for Poopy. So, once again, we're pretty neck and neck. Poopy gets the next Tetris, so... Ooh, but yeah, nowhere to put that L. Gonna have to take a few burns. Oh, interesting, choosing not to stick the L in that hole where it would have kind of burnt away pretty cleanly. Wants to burn it off the top. Gonna maintain that well, maintain that efficiency. Yeah, good play. Okay, Poopy waiting for something to put in that hole, and there we go, the T being the perfect piece, takes a safety double, and there's the line to get the Tetris. Has allowed Hana to get a Tetris ahead in that space. But a Tetris ahead at this point in the game, not necessarily that big a deal. And Poopy definitely plays more aggressive post 18. So, well, whether that will result in a higher score or an earlier top out, though, is to be seen. Oh, Poopy's stack looking of all sorts of troubling, let's say. Oh, and hanging that T is going to make things extremely difficult for Poopy, and that line, that is going to be it. Poopy tops out at 319,000 points. That is unfortunate, but GG's. Hana is going to take it and is going to go on to round number 2. Yeah, unfortunate for Poopy, but some great games there, like, for sure. And I've got to point out that, like, some of the highest scoring games so far as well, despite DAS, so, you know. Kudos. Oh no, we're not gonna have. Oh no, let's switch the flex style. Let's. What did I start on? I think I started on Eye of the Storm. Let's go. Here we go. And I will report that match and get on to the next one. So be right back. Okay, we're back. We're all set up. Hana keeping warm with a little bit of B-type. Doodle doing some kill screen rolling, so we have a roll versus Das. Should be interesting. And what we saw in round 1 was the Das players coming into level 19 with much higher transition scores, but then obviously not playing at quite the same pace once it comes to 19 speeds due to the limitations of Das. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in this matchup. Doodle going for the intimidation strats to open up with. Oh, I'd have liked to have seen the the 29 T-spin would have been cool. I just noticed there's someone in the background of Doodle's room there. Like, who's that? That's the kind of like the mechanical Turk employee that Doodle plays to actually play all of his matches. Yeah, we got a ready from Hana, so we're just waiting for Doodle to ready up, and we will get this final round of the hopeful circuit blue bracket going. Okay, both players are ready. Let's count it down. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. I haven't been doing predictions. I probably should have, but oh well, never mind. You'll have to wait for another opportunity to gamble your channel points. And already you can kind of see that rolling coming into play, getting those pieces all the way over to the left, so high up. But then you can see, you know, that kind of Das stacking strats coming into play with just extremely efficient stacks. And, you know, conservative burns made when necessary. And look, identical scores for a moment there. Now Hana taking the lead. Ooh, nice key tuck there from Hana. And it was very sensible not to set up the line dependency immediately afterwards. And there we go, gets the Tetris. Although is going to have to set up a kind of staggered roof burn. Oh, and then it's putting more weight on top of it. Kind of, I guess, not wanting to sacrifice parity for an earlier burnout. Oh, and kind of not getting ideal pieces, but there we go. Getting ideal pieces immediately afterwards. It's fine. Doodle in, let's not say trouble. I don't think that's trouble for a roller, but probably not the stack that he wants. Okay, Spire kind of starting to build on Doodle's side, but gets the S to fill it in and kind of restore a good stack state. Oh, and a Vit setup there, kind of last second Vit setup there, really nice from Doodle, gets rewarded with a Tetris. And players are still really neck and neck in score, although Hana does have the slight pace advantage being 5 lines back. So how long will that last though? Actually, it has to take, sort of burn away 3 lines, gets the Tetris. And yeah, players really neck and neck. So it's going to be interesting, assuming that we go to transition, how it's going to play out post-transition. Doodle's already proven they have what it takes to take it to the kill screen. And Hana hasn't really had the opportunity to do that yet. So maybe not quite as warmed up as Doodle might be when it comes to level 19 play. Oh, nice last second adjustment there though from Hana. And there's the Tetris. 392,000 points for Hana, 415,000 points for Doodle, who is ahead by 5 lines. And is going to be burning for a few of these. There's that double, and is going to have to take... I might... looks like, might decide to build a well on top. No, takes a triple. Finally clears that well out, although doesn't have a Tetris built yet, and it's going to have to burn off 2 lines from the top. Oh, nice setup to do so, though. Unfortunately, it turns that S dependency into a Z dependency. The Z doesn't come in time, but now the well is open, and there's the line, and there's the Tetris for Doodle. 448,000 points. Hana Tetris is right back, gets to 462,000 points, and is 3 lines behind, so still with the slight pace lead. Okay, another Tetris for Hana. Doodle now building on row 2. Not sure when that happened. Maybe it happened before and I just hadn't noticed. There's a Tetris though. And there's another one waiting. Okay, Doodle transitions at 5:26. Hana's still 5 lines away from transitioning and does have the score lead as well. But getting a little high up for Das. Taking the sensible burns. Oh, does set up. And there's going to Tetris into it. 5:62 transition for Hana. And has another Tetris waiting. Gets the line in time. Tetrises again. So it's a promising start for Hana. Although it's breaking down almost immediately with these pieces. Okay, get some nice pieces. Oh, but then nowhere to put that Z. And yeah, that's not going to burn out either, so it's going to be burning for a while for Hana. Ooh, nice decision with that L. Oh, I was waiting for a J. Fortunately, it didn't come in time. Ooh, almost misshifted there, but managed to avoid it. And yeah, really nice play from Hana. And yeah, sorts that stack out like a pro. Now has a triple well open. Turns it into a Tetris well, and the line comes just in time. Tetris for Hana, 635,000, but Doodle has not been hanging around in that time and has started to amass quite the lead. 731,000 points for Doodle, and Tetrising again. Doodle showing no signs of slowing down. And this is where kind of the difference between Das and rolling is really going to come into play. There is only so efficient you can be with Das, while keeping, keeping your stack healthy and in a state that allows you to carry on playing the game. But there's another Tetris, 678,000 points for Hana. But Doodle at 827,000 points already. Looks like it's going to be... I don't know, if nothing bad happens, let's not jinx it. And yeah, now Doodle having to do... Oh, some very high up maneuvers though. Oh, and just look at this rolling. Making it happen, but it's definitely heart in your mouth kind of maneuvering going on here. But Doodle manages to burn out of that. Quite the dig. Takes a safety double. And lives to Tetris another day. Still waiting for that line. It's been a drought for a long time now. Has to cover the well when a line comes. Uncovers it. Finally a line comes and an L comes to fill that hole. 892,000 points for Doodle, and Hana's made good headway in making some of that score lead back. 848,000 points for Hana. Hana kind of upping the aggression as we get a little bit higher in levels. Oh, takes some burns just before they could have had a Tetris, but there's that Tetris. So Doodle has transitioned to the kill screen. 950,000 points, but hangs an S. So it's a 950,000 point chase down. Actually doable. There's a Tetris, and Hana takes it. Hana takes game one. Das has triumphed over Rolling. GG's. So Hana showing why they are seed number 4 for sure. Das is not dead. Cold Bucket in chat saying Tetris players when Das wins a single game overall. Indeed, indeed. Both players are ready. Let's get the next game underway. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Okay, tricky start from Doodle, but I'm sure it won't be a problem. Yeah, Pollo Salazar in chat pointing out that Hana not only won that, but overcame an 100,000 plus point deficit at 19 speeds as well, so not to be sniffed at. Definitely quite the achievement. But is it going to be enough? Oh, we got another Prayed Not Zim Pro rating with a party of 14. Thank you very much. Really appreciate it. For those just joining us, this is Hopeful's Circuit Blue Bracket of Classic Tetris Monthly. And we are in round 2 already, so this is the final round. Hana has the first game advantage over Doodle. Hana playing with Roll, Doodle playing... Sorry, no. Hana playing with Das, Doodle playing with Roll. Got some D-sider emotes in chat, but we're not there yet. But I expect that's what everyone wants to see. Two players challenging each other. Some nice adjustments on Hana's side here, kind of quite last second adjustments, especially for Das. Kind of just trying to keep that efficiency up at this level before, 19 hits and Rolling has the kind of indisputable advantage. Okay, Doodle's needing to There we go. The line comes, and Doodle, although they're building off of row number 2, is looking pretty safe. Has another Tetris waiting. And there it is. And it's probably going to build another one on top of that. Yep. And gets that one as well. Now, will he take the opportunity to burn away that row? No, he will not. He's going to carry on building off of row 2. And there we go. Has a Tetris waiting now. Now takes a safety double. Probably smart. Don't want to push it. Especially given that Doodle does not have the advantage. So, you know, losing a game at this point would mean that Hana is 2 games up and would only need 1 more to take it. Just in case you couldn't do that basic maths. Oh, and Doodle's getting so high. And yeah, oh no, gets just the worst pieces all of a sudden. Oh, manages to get that Z all the way over, but is it going to be enough? Needs an L. Oh, does not get that Z all the way over though, and tops out. And that is unfortunate. Hana already ahead. Hana is going to take game 2 and keep that DAS dream alive. So, oh, just commiserations to Doodle89 there. Not how you want to go out, but sometimes that's how it is. WhiteMonster asking in chat if this is SPS. It is not. Players apparently didn't want SPS, I guess. Well, you know, I don't know. Anyway, Hana is ready for what could be the last game of a sweep. You never know. And Doodle perhaps collecting himself. Oh, Doodle saying, oh, I'm finished now, no way I reverse. But I don't know. Like, Doodle has played some great games. It could well happen. I wouldn't give up just yet. Yeah, both players are ready. Let's count it down again for what could be the last time. 3, 2, 1... Tetris. But let's hope it's not. I would quite like to still see this go to a decider and just see some good long hype games of Tetris, right? That's what we all want to see. Okay, so it talks about not about my particular for YouTube that isn't going to be able to read the chat. It talks about commentator bias about in other games. I've got to admit, I've probably got a bit of a bias towards DAS, but you know, who doesn't like to root for the underdog? Although it's not working out right now. Hana in real trouble. That line is not going all the way left, and that is going to be an early top out. And Doodle takes his first game. So that's going to be a bit of a relief. The reverse sweep suddenly much easier. So I don't know if Doodle has comms on, but yeah, you can top out. You've won. And yeah, Ivan Lichkov with the 100 bits cheers saying more Tetris. Thanks very much. We definitely appreciate that. And there is going to be more Tetris because we've just had an early top out, so that guarantees another game. Hey, that's okay, Doodle. I mean, you know, it was pretty quick, so it's not like we've been waiting around for ages or anything. Okay, both players ready again. Let's try this again. 3, 2, 1, Tetris. Oh, nice adjustment for the line there from Doodle. Though still waiting for their first Tetris, and there it is. Okay, Hana taking the safety double, perhaps realizing now that, you know, survival is the name of the game, and don't want a repeat of that last game, although these pieces are certainly not that helpful. Oh, that's a good helpful piece, though. Oh, interesting not to put the flat bottom piece in there. Probably just, yeah, didn't want to set up what would it have been, a L dependency or a J dependency. It instead builds the LJ dependency. But it does build that line dependency. That is unfortunate. Oh, and then a misshift of that S. It's tricky. Really want a line to come. Instead it takes... Oh, and the line comes just at the wrong time. Of course it does, but there we go. Okay, could do with a J or a line. Gets the J. Looking good. Actually has a Tetris well built there, but that is too high up to maintain for very long with Das. And does the sensible thing and burns it out. So yeah, this is probably not how Hana wanted to start off this game. And this is really going to harm pace. Now has a J dependency, gets 2 lines in a row, but then nowhere to put that damn square. And it sets up a T spin. Does not get the T in time. Finally uncovers that Tetris well, and finally the line comes at the right time. 118,000 points for Hana, but Doodle has gotten a little bit ahead at 199,000 points. And yeah, Doodle now has a hole in their second row, gonna be looking to burn that out. Hana still not really entirely out of trouble. Oh, nice burns there though to restore the stack. Also in row 2. Gets the Tetris. Now choosing to burn it away. Smart choice. Takes a few choice burns and a double and is back down to the bottom with a reasonably clean looking stack. Builds a line dependency pretty quickly, but gets the right pieces to burn it away. Just looking to restore parity. But meanwhile, Doodle Tetrises and is really extending that lead now, over 100,000 points ahead. 2 Tetrises in very quick succession. 297,000 points for Doodle, 180,000 points for Hana, so over 100,000 points back. But then Hana made up that deficit in the first game at level 19, so it's very far from over. We're pretty early on right now. Oh, and a nice Corian adjustment, or maybe just almost looked like Hana was expecting those pieces there, so really a kind of the psychic Corian adjustment. So we can coin that one now. Okay, Hana building a bit of a spire. And I've been kind of concentrating on Hana's board because she just seems to be in more situations than Doodle does. Anytime I see Doodle get into anything close to a situation, he's already burnt it away. And in fact has really nice pace right now. Definitely, I think, the highest pace we've seen from Doodle from all of these games. So looking very nice at the moment. 439,000 points through 103 lines is nothing to sniff at. The T-spin setup hits it. Now kind of got a hard J dependency there. Turns it into just a single line hole and is burning it away. Unfortunately can't use that line for the Tetris, but no big deal, not very high up, and there's another one. 466,000 points now for Doodle, who's really running away with it. 288,000 points for Hana, who is basically at the same line count. So quite the deficit. Ooh, a bit of a sort of adjustment, maybe a slight error from Hana there, and kind of corrected it, but didn't have the DAS to get that next J piece over, but then another one came, so no big deal. 313,000 points for Hana for 119 lines, so we're now at 120 lines, 10 lines away from transition. It's going to be a bit of a low transition, especially for Hana, who's had fairly reasonable transition scores for every game up to this point, obviously other than the early top out. Whereas Doodle is going to have their first kind of legit transition score game. And there we go, gets the line, fills in the line dependency before going for the Tetris. Smart play for sure. Got to get that, and then transitions at 539, quickly followed by two almost back-to-back Tetrises, bringing him to 587,000. There's another Tetris, 612,000, so a well over 200,000 point advantage versus Hana, who has transition now at 398,000 points. And yeah, Hana probably either going to have to push pretty hard or hope that Doodle makes a mistake and that they can kind of make it back without having to kind of take on too much unnecessary risk. But at the moment that risk is probably necessary. 431,000 points, and yeah, Hana is pushing hard for sure. There's that line, comes just in time. 461,000 points for Hana, 703,000 points though for Doodle. Doodle now looks to be playing just a little bit more conservative, but has such a lead that yeah, I mean that's the smart play for sure. Like, until that lead closes even slightly, I think it makes a lot of sense to play a little bit conservative. Just take those Tetrises where you can get them. Kind of play as if you were playing DAS, I suppose. No need for like the big roller stacks. Nice little tuck there of the T from Doodle. Doodle now at 741,000 points. Oh, and just kind of closes that well just before the line. But there's another one. 774,000 points. Hana making some good headway for sure. 558,000 points. Nice little pole vault there with the L over to the right. Just kind of wants a line to come. There's that line. 595,000 points for Hana. Ooh, I'm not sure if that was the best kind of decision there from Hana, but either way, it worked out, so it probably was. What do I know? Yeah, really nice play there from Hana. Kind of, there's an interesting adjustment in there where they saw, I think, that they didn't quite have the DAS to get a piece over. Instead of stopping it a piece short, laid it flat. And yeah, amazing kind of post pace there from Hana. Really pushing hard. 705,000 points. Doodle at 882,000 points, so still over 100,000 points ahead though. And gets another Tetris. Okay, Hana board now looking tougher, but yeah, okay. Kind of manages to sort it out in time, but I don't know that there's certainly not enough time to make up that score deficit, so this kind of might really be it for Hana, and we're just kind of looking at, you know, what score can be made up in these last few pieces, just for the sake of doing it. There's that Tetris. And yeah, 819,000 points, but Doodle with the max out and still going is going to very decisively take that game and make this a decider. So we got what we wanted. We now have a decider game. Roll versus DAS. Seed 4 versus Seed 5. Adjacent seeds. Hana versus Doodle. Going to find out who's going to enter the decider? Enter the semis. And with this decider. So there it is. It's a decider. GG's from both players. So both players are ready. It's counted down. 3, 2, 1. Tetris. Yeah, Armstrong 6263 in chat saying this does not feel like a round 2 match, and that is right. This could, I mean, easily, you know, be a finals. Like, we're seeing some excellent play. And Hana really pushing it in that last game, really pushing the kind of the limits of DAS, I would say. But Doodle also, you know, putting in some fantastic play. Have to consider that Hana was 2 games to nothing, and now we're in the decider. So Doodle has a very good chance of a reverse sweep here. Got some cheering for Hana in chat. I just hope that both players do as well as they can. That's what we want to see. Oh, Hana with the nice kind of elevated Tetris, dirty Tetris setup there. And nailing it. Kind of staying now on row 3. Wants to keep that efficiency up. Has a perfect world transfer open. Unfortunately has to put the J there. It's going to... I don't know. It looks like... Yeah, it looks like they're going to burn it off now. Board now not looking as great as it was for Hana. That's going to be some burning. Get some good pieces to do it though. And there we go, it's burnt out. And they have a Tetris ready and waiting. Probably looking to build out that left. And there's the line for the Tetris. 155,000 points for Hana. Doodle with the slight lead, 193,000 points. Indeed, this is a decider. Monthly Tetris in chat, cheering in spirit. Oh, we got a raid from Pumpy Heart, the famous and respected, much loved Pumpy Heart, raiding with a party of 5. Very much appreciated. We've got some cheering going on. Ian Keefe cheering with the 7 bits. A fellow Brit. Oh, there's some contention as to whether Pumpy Heart is respected in chat. Wait, Ian Keefe is a Brit, right? Have I got that wrong? Oh, T-Storm 281 cheering. Another 7 bits. Is anyone going to make it to 8? Oh no, I've mixed it up. Ian Keefe's not British. Well, honorary British now. That's it. Much like much of what Britain has done historically, we're just going to co-opt it. You are now British, and you just have to deal with it. Okay, Lil Cutie Hana, 359,000 points. Doodle with the lead at 454,000 points. An early, almost 100,000 point lead. Yeah, good pace. Very good pace. So signs are looking good for Doodle, but we're still pretty early on. Anything can happen. And still pretty good pace from Hana as well. It's just Doodle's pace is just really good, I guess. Though it's suffering now, and Hana has made up quite a lot of that deficit. And Doodle's going to be stuck burning for a little while longer. Okay, 5 lines away from transition is Hana. 480,000 points, 125 lines. Doodle at 516,000 points. So that, what was once about an 100,000 point lead, is now kind of evaporated into what is now just a few dozen thousand leads. Although Hana's board, that is not what you want going into level 19 with Das. Oh no, and kind of misses the flip on that line. That is going to be really difficult to make it out of. Yeah, that is going to be it for Hana. Oh, you hate to go out like that, but it is what it is. And it's funny, looks like Doodle kind of was in some trouble of their own, but is ahead in score already. And yeah, Doodle is going to take it. So Doodle is going to go through to the semis, the semi-finals. Just going to give it its full name. And it's going to take the 5th game and the reverse sweep. So GG's to both players, but there can be only one winner. Much like the Highlander, there can be only one. And today, it is Doodle. So let's get a look at the winner. Yep, there he is. And his table full of plush stuff. I can see a KK slider. I don't know what the other two things are. Kind of looks like a Muttley from like a Wacky Races, but I'm guessing it's not. Like that is, you know, no one's old enough for a Muttley plush, right?